All right, everybody, this is Matt. He is one of the representatives that's going to help you in the apprenticeship through Robert Half if you're interested. So he asked to do a presentation today, kind of talk about the program. You can either go through Launch or Robert Half. So if you have any questions, you can also ask Matt either at the end or throughout the presentation. So, okay, Matt, take it over.
All right, thanks so much, Casey. So like Casey was saying, I'm here from Robert Half, obviously. I'm here to talk about our apprenticeship program. And if you're not familiar with Robert Half, we are one of the world's first and largest staffing companies. We were started in 1948, and we have hundreds of branches around the world. So we do a lot of work in accounting and in cybersecurity and, a lot of different areas, but I'm here today to obviously talk about the cybersecurity side of things. So what are we going to be doing today? Obviously, we're here to talk about the Robert Half Apprenticeship Program. We're going to talk about the career path of an apprentice. We're going to talk about the job description and structure, the basic qualifications for doing this program, because there are some qualifications that you need to meet. And then at the end, we'll have time for questions and answers. And, you can either open up the mic or, you can put the questions right in the chat. So either one works for me. Okay, so what is the Robert Half Apprenticeship? Basically, it's on the job learning while making a living wage. There's a lot of programs out there where, internships maybe where you're not necessarily going to get paid or get paid well. The benefit to this program is you are paid a living wage here. So there are required college courses, and competencies are just things that you'll be responsible for learning along the way. The program is estimated to take about a year to a year and a half. So it can be shorter than that, but typically what we're seeing is around 12 months to complete this program. There is mentorship and career development along the way. So there's mentorship on the Robert Half end, as far as you would be assigned a mentor once you're in the program, and they can help you with, basic career things, resume, construction, interview prep, that type of thing. And then career development and mentorship on the client's end from the hiring manager. They would be who would be responsible for kind of ensuring that you learn everything that's required as far as the competencies go. And it is a contract to hire model. So, it's basically if you've heard of contract to hire before, you go work for a company on a temp basis and then get hired on at the end. That's not a guarantee here, but that is what we're shooting for. There's a number of options that can take place if that's not the case here, but I will go into those in a little bit here. So just to introduce you to me, if you don't know me, I'm Matt Matoyer. I'm the career advisor for this apprenticeship program. I'm the one who guides you through the entire program. So I'm the one who does the initial qualification call, interview, and then get you through the assessment. And there are some career readiness modules or kind of like online courses to go through before your apprenticeship would begin. And I would be also with you throughout the duration of the apprenticeship. So I would have at the very least monthly calls with you to go over where you are with the competencies and anything else that might come up. So I would be the one in touch with you at least once per month, and usually much more often than that. So how do you apply to the apprenticeship? So you can apply through our website, roberthalf.com, search for Information Security Analyst 1, and that's the job title there. And the other way you can do it is, reach out to me, apprenticeships@roberthalf.com. We have a team inbox there, and I'll get your resume there. If you want to send me your resume there, that's totally fine. I'll be able to get it there. And after that point, I would schedule an initial introductory call with you within the first 48 hours, and just go through the initial qualifications with you. If you meet the initial qualifications, we would set up an assessment to go through where you currently are with your cybersecurity skills. That's through IBM and My Inner Genius. I would set up a follow-up call to go over the results with you and talk about next steps. And then, at that point, assuming you pass that assessment, we would have you do what we're calling career readiness. So there's a series of IBM modules that will give you foundational knowledge that you need to know going into an apprenticeship with us. After that, we would put your profile together, and then we would start to match you with some clients who are looking for apprentices. You have the ability to interview with them and be placed with one of our clients. Okay, so what happens after the apprenticeship? Basically, the idea is, like I said, it's a contract to hire model. So the hope is that you would convert to a full-time employee with the client that you do the apprenticeship with, although it's not 100% guaranteed. There are a few other things that can happen though. So you can also work with us on contract and contract to hire opportunities elsewhere. We can also work with you on a direct hire basis. So we have a team placing people directly with other clients. So not a contract to hire situation. You would just be their employee. And we also have a wholly owned consulting group called Protivity, and they do a lot of consulting work. So there's a lot of opportunities out there, whether you're converted to full-time with the client or not at the end of the apprenticeship. Okay, and here are just a few examples of what you might be doing on the job, once you get your apprenticeship. So these are just some very basic things. It might go into a different direction. They might be able to utilize your skills if you're good at scripting or something. You might be doing like an automated scripting project for them, or whatever skills you have, they would be able to utilize those once you get on the apprenticeship. But these are just some of the basics. So you might be doing things like assisting in developing security policies and protocols, assisting in enforcing company compliances with network security policies and protocols, installing, configuring, troubleshooting, maintaining server configurations, configuring tools and technologies to detect, mitigate, and prevent potential threats, assessing and mitigating system network, business continuity and related security risks and vulnerabilities, provide security technical support to users or customers, responding to cyber intrusions, that's a big one, and attacks, and provide defensive strategies, installing, configuring, testing, operating, maintaining, and managing networks and their firewalls, including hardware and software that permits sharing and transmission of information. Also reviewing network utilization data to identify unusual patterns, suspicious activities, or signs of potential threats. Again, these are just very basic things you may be doing, and they would be able to utilize your skills in a lot of different ways, but these are just some of the very basics. And so cybersecurity pathways, there's a lot of opportunities out there, and these are just some examples of what your career path might be in this field. So on the entry level side, you might start out, cybersecurity specialist, cybercrime analyst, incident and intrusion analyst, all the way to IT auditor. On the mid-level, cybersecurity analyst, cybersecurity consultant, penetration and vulnerability tester. And then on the more advanced level, cybersecurity manager, cybersecurity engineer, and then cybersecurity architect. And again, these are just typical pathways. Doesn't mean that's going to be your pathway, but these are just some things to consider. And we got this from cyberseek.org. It's a great website if you're interested to look there. But these are just some, basically a heat map of where cybersecurity jobs are, highly sought after at this point. Places like Colorado, Texas, New York, Virginia, Maryland, Georgia, Florida, and of course your home state of California are all huge hubs. The demand for cybersecurity is just growing, and they can't fill the job. So that's one of the big reasons why we're doing this this apprenticeship, is because there's a lot of companies out there who just can't fill their cybersecurity jobs. So that is a huge reason why this apprenticeship opportunity is such a great one, I think. As far as the minimum qualifications for this program, so you have to be at least 18 years old. You have to be a high school graduate or have a GED. You just need to be eligible to work in the US. Participating in, enrolled in a participating community college and in good academic standing. And then we need to have passed successfully the Information Communication Technology Essentials course. For this program, we just require that you complete one course, and then there are 5 more courses to complete along the way. But as long as you've completed that one course, we can start to work with you. The other thing is you would need to pass the CompTIA A+ practice or formal exam. And then, of course, like I was saying before, complete the IBM assessment through My Inner Genius and IBM Career Readiness Program. And then just be capable of passing the required background check and 3 professional or academic reference checks. And so those are basically the qualifications of the program. So those are the basics. And now's the point where you can go ahead and ask any questions that you have. If you want to, like I said, open up the mic, put anything in the chat. I can answer any questions that you have there.
Do you have any questions for Matt? I have a question for you, Matt. You said contract to hire.
Right.
What is your average or general timeline for contract? Like, would it be 9 months? Would it be 6 months? Is it varied? Does the student have to go through about a year before they would know whether they're going to be permanently hired?
So it's going to vary a little bit. What we've seen so far, the apprentices that we've had working so far are, they're very, very good, and they were through most of the classes already, and they were, kind of at the tail end of their school. So they were more on the 6 months end. It can be as short as 6 months, but a lot of the apprenticeships we're seeing these days are kind of around 12 months. It really just depends on how far along you are in your development as a technical-minded person, as a cybersecurity person, and how far you are in the classes that are required.
And then, do you have any specialized employer that are looking to hire in specific security areas, such as forensic or ethical hacking or pen testing?
Yeah, what we're seeing more is more general, like SOC and things like that. We have some people that are working in our own information security team right now that are getting a chance to do some like red team stuff, some pen testing. You have some people that are doing like scripting projects because they're really good at Python. It really just depends on, what your skill set is. So some people are better at programming, some people are better at pen testing, some, people have different strengths, some people are great at forensics. So there's a lot of different opportunities out there. And it really just depends on what direction you want to go, what you particularly are good at.
So if the student put together their resume and if they have a specific objective in looking for a certain area in cybersecurity you will be able to help that individual identify the potential employers that they can seek, correct?
Yeah, so if you want to put in your resume, what area of cybersecurity that you're very interested in, or what your skill set is specifically in that area, we can work with you to find an employer that might be the best fit for you. I can't promise we're going to be able to find you something in forensics or auditing or whatever the case may be, but you might get some exposure to that. The idea for this program is to get exposure to a lot of different areas within cybersecurity. So we may be able to help you find something that specific, but at the very least, we'll find you something. We would probably be able to find you something general, and you would get exposure to a lot of different areas.
And what is the amount of hours of commitment for apprenticeship work in the case that if student currently working at a job, or
Sure,
they're obligated to family functions and things?
Yeah, so it's a minimum of 20 hours per week. And as long as you can do 20 hours per week, then you can do the program. Some people can, a lot of people are doing, since they're in school, 20 to 25 hours per week. Although some people can do up to full time if they're, at the end of their school, or, if they're part-time in school. So there's different situations. So it can be anywhere from 20 to full-time hours. It just depends on your situation.
So you do have full-time opportunities, correct?
We do, yes, we do.
Okay. And then do you have any remote employers right now?
We do. So the people that are working in our own information security team are 100% remote. And we have some other people who are doing like a hybrid. So what we're seeing a lot these days is remote and hybrid. We're seeing some fully on-site, but post-pandemic, it's a little bit different. The world's a little bit different these days. So
okay. And then, so I'm assuming that you currently have employers, because I got one of the students mentioned to me that he completed the IBM, and he's still waiting to get started. So
is that Eric?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're still waiting on some employers. We're talking to a lot of different employers, and we have some irons in the fire. Nothing available currently at this very moment, but it's not going to be long before we have some more apprenticeships available.
So how long is the time period, do you say, that from the time, let's say a student completed the IBM training, My Inner Genius, until they get placed? Is that gonna be, are they expecting a few weeks, or at least a month or more? What's the
It's hard
timeline?
to say exactly. It really depends on what level of candidate they're looking for. Since this is the community college level, sometimes they're looking for the the 4-year cybersecurity level, since we have a program with some some other California 4-year schools. So it just depends. Right now there's not a lot available. I think there's things are wrapping up for the end of the year, it seems like. I think but like I said, we should have some more apprenticeships available here shortly.
Okay, and we do a pre-apprenticeship for Cal State San Bernardino, so some of the students that are transferring, they will continue through the program.
Yeah.
So they would start here and then they would continue to CSUSB.
Right. Yeah, we have CIS200, and we're also working with Cal Poly Pomona is another
Right.
one that we're working with.
Okay, cool. Do you have additional questions for Matt? Are most of your employers locally, or do they have to travel to Orange County or LA, or do you have a span of employers that?
So it's meant to be local. So we're looking in the Inland Empire, and if it's outside of that area, say even if it was like LA or Orange County, then it would probably be 100% remote. Or even if it's in a different area of the country and they're open to remote candidates, then we might be able to do something in even a different state or different part of the country as well, 100% remote.
So does that impact the pay? Do you see that the employers that are outside of Inland Empire, do they give more incentive for people to commute out to their location to work? Is it a higher pay range, or it's roughly the same?
It's roughly the same. I mean, if it's a big difference, like we do have somebody in South Carolina, but they live in South Carolina. They're going to an HBCU there. So that's a little bit lower there. It just depends on the area of the country. But if it was a situation where they were, working for a company that's in a different area of the country, but they were still in Southern California, we would have to stick with that Southern California pricing.
Okay, and then ballpark, can you give me a range of what type of pay that the students are looking to, if they get hired or when they get hired?
Yeah, I believe this one starts at $20.20 an hour.
Okay.
And then halfway through the apprenticeship, there's a midpoint review, and there would, as long as they're reach half of their competencies and half of their classes completed, then there would be a bump up in pay, and I believe that's up to 24, that area. And then assuming they get hired on, they would be able to negotiate a full-time salary with the company, and at that point there is a minimum salary, which would be for this level $60,000. But we've had a few on the tier 2 side, which is the 4-year school side, convert to full-time, and their initial salary was much higher than that. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
Let me ask you about the tier 2. If a student completed certifications like Security Plus, Network Plus, A Plus, would they be qualified for tier 2? Because that would hit most of the basic criteria, or even ethical hacking or pen testing certification. Would they be able to bleed into the tier 2 positions?
So for the tier 2 program, they would have to be one of the 4-year schools. It would be the Cal Poly Pomona or CIS200.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have to be transferred student to those institutions.
Right. And like I said, the $20.20 an hour is a minimum. It can be higher than that. That's just kind of the minimum starting rate.
Okay.
Yes.
So right now, the objective is for those who completed CIS-25 for Information Communication Technology Essential, right? They passed the practice exam.
Right.
if they sign up with you, they can begin their inner genius training or my inner genius training
Mhm.
and be able to get started.
Yep, that's correct.
All right. Anything you guys want to add or have questions or concern about regarding Robert Half?
I'm just
No?
gonna put my the email address in the chat here in case
Okay.
anybody wants it.
All right.
Okay.
So I'll put that. I'll copy this and then I'll put it on their Canvas shell.
Great.
I did post your flyer on Canvas.
Great.
And so if they have questions, they can reach out to you. correct?
Yeah, if they have any questions, just reach out to me there. Otherwise, if you want to send your resume, you can shoot it there and I'll get back to you. I'll give you a call and we can start the process.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
No problem. Thanks so much, everybody.
That's it? No questions? Okay. You have a good day, Matt.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.